my name is David Rawlings and welcome to Israel Vision. We're pleased to bring you a series of 4 programs that we filmed at the Third Jerusalem Assembly. The Third Jerusalem Assembly is a gathering of Christian leaders from around the world to come and discuss Judeo-Christian principles and what's happening to that movement of Judeo-Christian principles. Our first speaker is from Vancouver, and I'm starting with the speaker basically because I'm a Canadian. And this Pastor Giuliani from Vancouver gives us an insight of the lack of moral clarity in the world.
Very delighted to represent my nation of Canada tonight at this very important conference in Jerusalem. You know what? It's an indisputable fact that Canada is playing a very key role today on the international stage and one of the strongest supporters of the State of Israel. We are especially proud of our Prime Minister, the Honorable Mr. Stephen Harper, and his government for his courageous, uncompromising, and consistent stand regarding Israel in the face of criticism and condemnation from within and from without our nation. The alliance of Canadian Arab organizations, Arab Islamic states, and the liberal left, fueled by the anti-Israel rhetoric of the global press, have sustained a constant assault against our government's unwavering support for Israel and Israel's right to exist and the measure employed for self-defense. And friends, our Prime Minister and his cabinet is to be applauded tonight. So please, even though you're American, applaud our Canadian Prime Minister. He is an awesome man of God who loves the Lord and understands the role and the place of Israel. So I felt it was very fitting and protocol demanded that I mention our government and our Prime Minister. Now this evening, as a religious Christian leader from Canada, I want to speak from my heart in addressing the need for moral clarity. Moral clarity in an alarming trend of moral confusion that is seemingly growing across the global religious world regarding Israel. It saddens my heart that many traditional denominations and organizations have unwittingly bought into the deceiving UN and Islamic propaganda portraying Israel and her actions to defend herself as an apartheid state or an oppressive occupier of the Palestinian people, victimizers and perpetrators of violence with excessive military force. Because of this perception, a number of these organizations have called for divestment from Israel and Israeli products, claiming that this is morally and biblically correct. Secondly, the recent synod of Middle Eastern bishops in Rome, as well as sending an alarming signal that I trust will be rectified and the record set straight regarding the right of the return of the Jews to the land. The statements that were made by the Lebanese-born Bishop Cyril Salim Boutros, who headed the Synod's commission, told a press conference at the Vatican, and I quote his words, "The Holy Scriptures cannot be used," he said, "to justify the return of the Jews to Israel and the displacement of the Palestinians, to justify the occupation by Israel of Palestinian lands. We, as Christians, cannot speak of the promised land as an exclusive right for a privileged Jewish people. This promise was nullified by Christ," he says. "There is no longer a chosen people. All men and women of all countries have become the chosen people. And thus, by declaring so, they are claiming moral and legal justification in denouncing Israel." Now, let me make a very clear declaration this evening from this podium tonight in the city of Jerusalem. Now, that is moral confusion and biblical incorrect. Come on now. And furthermore, those statements reveal an undercurrent of anti-Semitism and anti-Zionist sentiments that are spawned by Satan and satanic strategies to undermine God's covenant love for Israel and the Jewish people. Let's call a spade and a club a club. No, my friends, this is moral clarity. Israel is on the front lines of a clash of value systems. The Judeo-Christian values and principles founded upon the Scripture, the Bible, whose author is the God of Abraham, Avinu, Yitzhak, and Yaakov. And the clashes with the value systems endorsed by extreme fanatical Islam and jihadists who are inspired by violent rhetoric endorsed by the Muslim Brotherhood, Hamas, Hezbollah, and the Iranian regime. No, friends, we are in a major battle that will determine who will be worshipped in the city of the great king, as the Bible declares. Will it be Adonai Elohim, the God of Israel, the God of the Bible, or will it be Allah and the God of Islam? You see, the battle lines have been drawn, and this is very serious. This is the evidence of moral clarity. Now, I believe the Scriptures clearly teach us the posture and the position that the Christian church or Gentile church, just for sake of identification, the Christian Gentile church must embrace in her relationship with the Jewish people and the state of Israel. In the 20th century, we witnessed the modern day miracle of the state of Israel. May 15, 1948. The Jewish people were now legally and democratically back in the land. Make no mistake about it. Do not buy into the propaganda that is continually being communicated. They were legally and democratically back in the land. You know, I believe the words of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's speech at the UN General Assembly just recently are really appropriate tonight. And I feel that they're so thought-provoking. And so I want to quote him. This is what he said. The question facing the international community, and I believe it's the same question facing the Christian church. The question facing the international community is whether it is prepared to confront. Whether it is prepared to confront, are you hearing me? Whether it is prepared to confront those forces or accommodate them. Over 70 years ago, Winston Churchill lamented what he called the confirmed unteachability of mankind, the unfortunate habit of civilized societies to sleep until danger nearly overtakes them. Churchill bemoaned what he called the want of foresight, the willingness to act when actions will be simple and effective, the lack of clear thinking, the confusion of counsel until emergency comes, until self-preservation strikes its jarring gong. I speak here today, he says, in the hope that Churchill's assessment of the unteachability of mankind is for once proven wrong.